Welcome to another episode of This Old Hooptie. Today's going to be a different kind of video. I just picked up this first gen Chevy S10. It's LS swap, but I can't open the hood and show you right now, so you're going to have to trust me on that. When we get done driving it in the morning, I will pop the hood forcefully so you guys can see what's under there. It doesn't have any gauges, it doesn't have any air conditioning, it doesn't have any suspension, it doesn't have any steering really. The rag joint's pretty much shot. The slop is absolutely horrible. So as you can imagine, it's a pleasure to drive. When you do hit the gas though, the back end does want to come out from underneath you, and so you got to adjust with the front end, which is really oversteering. But it's quite fun, I got to tell you. I got to be honest with you, it's a rush driving this thing. All right, so I do have my, as you can see, my pit crew with me following along in case the engine blows up or I crash into a wall or whatever. I'm sure she's not that happy hearing that, but the fact is I've got a bunch of tools in the back of that car, so if this car breaks, I'll be able to get myself home. So we're gonna get back in the car and hit the road, and you guys are coming along with us. So I'll see you back at the house. Let's go. It's going to be kind of hard to hear. Windows are open and this thing's loud. So you guys can't truly appreciate the beauty and the passion that was put into restoring this truck until the morning, but I'm going to give you a quick... All right guys, it's light out, it's the next morning. Let's get a quick look at the truck and we'll start going over what needs to be done. Make a quick list here. So here is the truck in all of its beauty. This is a 91 Chevy S10. It's a Florida car. There's no rust under it. There doesn't seem to be any rust or body damage. Some paint damage. Bed looks good. Fuel pump was just replaced and there's no hole in the bed, so that's always a plus. None of these seem to work, so we're going to be swapping all of the key locks out and rematching it, so you have one key for the cylinder and the door locks. Or who knows, maybe we'll just shave them. I don't know. But right off the bat, I'm thinking about not painting or not doing anything ridiculous to this car, but just doing the electrical work that needs to be done for the LS swap that was done, and also refurbishing the interior. I think this is a great little truck as it is and doesn't need anything crazy. So the hood latch is broken. Fix that really quick by using something long enough to shove onto there and push what the cable would pull. We've got some bad lights and whatnot, nothing too bad. All that stuff. All the lights and stuff need to come out anyways, so I can test the ends of the electrical, because there's some bad grounds. The turn signals don't work, the reverse lights don't work. So to fix those anyways, I need to connect stuff to the end of them and whatnot, so that's not a huge deal. But as you can see, it's not in too bad condition. The interior is horrible, but the bones are there. It's got a solid working LS swap that I took up to 90 miles an hour last night on the way home, and had a blast while driving it, I gotta tell you. So once it's fixed and the engine's properly tuned and all the bad grounds are fixed, I believe this is going to be a fun little car, or little truck I should say. Brand new tires all around, some decent 15-inch rims. Definitely needs paint correction all around. This is tape because the window was broken. Like I told you guys last night, I quickly fixed that. It was just off the track. Needs some seals, and it's going to need this tape residue cleaned off, and then I'll probably give some paint correction a shot, see if I can get this thing to shine back up. I would like to get rid of this bumper and put a roll pan on there. So no damage on the bed. Things aren't really connected. In the grand scheme of things, this is a great little truck. Just needs a little help here and there. Let me get the hood popped. You guys can take a look at the engine, and then we'll go over the interior. Since the beautiful coat hanger hood latch is broken, I removed the screws from the grill here, here, and here, so I can get enough down. That way I can get into the actual latch here and push it over to lift the hood up. Let's get that done. So I had to push this back to release the latch, but because of the way that this hanger was just, I guess, twisted around here, it was hitting this and wouldn't let it open. So I removed a portion of the grill, pushed this over, and then this set free, and I was able to get the hood up. Anyhow, now that that's done, you can see the reason why I picked this thing up. As far as things go, it's got good bones. It's got good pressure when it's running. It's already got headers. Swap seems to have been done correctly. The wiring is quite a mess. We're gonna fix all that though. Got some questionable grounds. Relays upside down, a little bit of water in there. OBD2 port is over here. That's why I couldn't use it last night. I'm gonna get this rerun inside there so I can use it. I'm gonna go through all these open wires, like this one here, etc. Find out what all these are that are open and just exposed, because I believe we have some shorts. Because like I said, none of the lights are working correctly. They turn on. This one doesn't turn on, and one of the ones in back turns on and off while you're driving, but none of the blinkers work, front or back. So I'm gonna go through all the electrical and redo some of the wiring here, clean up some of this stuff up, and then try and teach myself a little bit about the tuning that goes on in these ECUs. All right, so I made a new friend, and his headache is now my headache, but you know, most people would just get like a puzzle like this, but I think this will be kind of fun. The bones are good in this thing, so it just has electrical issues, and that's something that I feel that I can figure out. So I'm gonna deal with the electrical issues, and I'm gonna deal with the interior, and the sun is right in my eyes. Let's see if we can turn this way. Nope. How about this? There we go. All right. We're gonna go through all of that stuff and get that fixed. It does run and drive. I got it up to almost 90 last night on the highway. Didn't want to go any faster because there is ridiculous slop in the steering. I can barely correct without overcorrecting. All that being said, let's take a look at the interior now so you guys can, this one's pretty. Let's take a look. All right, so we've got the diamond plate here, partially screwed in. Everything in here has been spray painted. The emergency brake, the cable is snapped just like the hood, so we're gonna have to fix that. Kind of shifting the gears by feel here. This works. It's connected to the 4L60. You've got park, reverse, neutral, drive, 1, 2, 3, etc. Somebody put their fist into this, it looks like, and it's got some spray paint on it, so we're gonna pull that out. But I was told that turning this on shorts out the entire car anyways, so we gotta get all the wiring from behind this dash redone. So we're gonna work on that. This door crank works. This door crank has the special vice grip opener. We're gonna fix that. The door panels, I'm not sure if they can be saved or not. I am going to possibly attempt fiberglassing these, see if I can get them fixed. They're cracked over here. There's a ton of drips and whatnot. Let's see if you guys can see that. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see that. There's lots of drips and runs all over with the spray paint that went on in here. So we're gonna try and fix all that. The glove box works. Of course, the usual cracked and nasty dash under there. We're gonna fix that. Since the dashes aren't available for this car from LMC Truck, I'm going to take this dash out and I'm going to copy what I guess Sprayway did and see if I can fiberglass this dash and get it looking pretty again to match the door panels. We'll see how that goes. Definitely gonna need some new parts like door handles, etc. These are all cracked and destroyed. This doesn't work. I'm gonna change the steering wheel for one of the forever sharp ones when we get to that. Air conditioning doesn't work. As you saw, it's been taken out from the engine. All this stuff seems to be beside here. This is gonna be basically like a little race car. For those of you guys who've been following me for the last year, you'll know that at the beginning I said I wanted to do like a Camaro as well as the trucks. Well, instead of the Camaro, I would rather have a S10. The S10 is light, similar to the Camaro, and with this engine in it, it should be pretty good. And I still have the bed to be able to use it for other stuff, so that's kind of cool. So basically, we're gonna keep this channel all trucks. So there's that. Let's keep going. Like I said last night, we have the fire extinguisher to extinguish the probable fire. While driving home last night, I didn't need the voltage, but I did keep an eye on the oil pressure and the water temperature. Oil pressure was good the entire way home. The temperature never went above 200, so that's pretty good. Basically, I was told everything in this thing, when you connect electronics, it fries stuff, so obviously we've got some grounding issues, and we're gonna have to take care of those in the cab as well. We've also got one of these little gauge cluster things. This doesn't actually work. It's a digital air fuel mix ratio. We got 3 pods here though, and we got 3 gauges here. So I'm probably gonna take these 3 gauges out of here, rewire them, and put them up in here. That way I don't have to replace this piece here. The headliner, as discussed last night, needs to be fixed. I'm gonna take it out, redo the entire thing because it feels like sandpaper, and it also hits you in the head while you're driving. Cool, seat actually comes forward. So there's a lot of spray paint and overspray, and pretty much everywhere there are self-tapping screws to hold all this stuff together. We're gonna fix all of that stuff and put the original clips back in. We've got, let's see here, jumper cables, quart of oil. We've got another set of Chinese coil packs here, looks like. We've got some zip downs for the electric fans up front, a couple extra fuel rails. Oh, look at this. If I want to replace the gauge pod, here's the piece. Fantastic, look at that. It's like Christmas. And the original jack and whatnot is in there. Let's see how this thing looks. Okay, as expected. The seat is less than optimal. We'll just keep that covered. Yeah, put that back there. Didn't see that. So we're gonna roll with the seat the way it is for now because it's gross. But we're gonna eventually get the cushion and the bottom and back reupholstered if I stay with a bench. I'm seriously considering changing this, swapping this back to a manual truck, swapping out the transmission. That way I can make use of the pedal and the shifter. Or B, I'm thinking about removing the clutch and swapping this out for either a 2nd gen center console with the floor shifter and switching these over to bucket seats. We'll see when we get there on that stuff. First, I want to take care of all of the electrical issues and make sure that this is watertight so it can sit outside, because we've got some issues here. Like, this was glued on. Whoever did it left like a 6-inch gap here. So when it came all the way around, there's 6 inches of extra here, and this is glued on. So if I take it off, there's no seal at all. And I don't have one right now to replace it. The seat belts do work, so it is drivable. That's how much play is in the wheel before it actually moves. Hopefully you guys can see that. You have to actually swing it like this before it even starts moving the tires. It's all dead. So nothing turns on and off except for the lights. The lights do turn on and off, so I'm gonna have to rewire all of that stuff. All right, so just like that, I'm ahead 75 cents tucked underneath the seat. So I could very well get rich pulling the change out of this car. More on that later. Let's get the truck started. You guys can hear what it sounds like. Starts, purrs like a little kitten. All right, guys, now's a great time to subscribe and join in on this project. We're starting from the ground up. So do me a favor, hit that like button so YouTube can share these videos to more people. And let's get back to work. That sounds nice. So this thing has brand new dual Spintech mufflers, the little square ones. It's got new exhaust from the headers all the way back to the tailpipes. Just about everything has been replaced in this thing, as far as coil packs and fuel pressure regulators, pretty much everything. So while trying to fix whatever the issue was, all of the simple stuff has already been corrected. So what's left is basically the tune and the wiring. So I'm gonna start working on the wiring and teach myself about the tunes, and we'll go from there. So, but this thing sounds like a beast and it's fun to drive. I just need to fix the slight hesitation at the upper end. This way I can really let this thing loose. So here's those exhausts we were talking about. Everything is new. So she may be ugly right now, but she's got the heart of a lion. We just need to fix the issues so the inside of this cab and the engine functions like it should. I'm pretty confident that once I get done with the wiring and I get this interior at least up to par with what I did with the now black truck, that this thing should be a fun little toy. It's for nothing more than weekend cruising, driving around town or whatever. Alright, so the cool part is I'm going to take another trip out to the junkyard with my son. So we're going to go and see if they had 2 of these last time, so we'll see if they have any parts that I can scavenge off of that. And if they have a dash in better condition, I'll grab that. Same with the door panels. If they don't, like I said, I'm planning on giving fiberglassing an attempt. I've seen other people do it, so while it's not easy, I believe after a couple tries, I'll get it, and it'll give me what I want out of it. And for now, we're going to leave it painted as is. We're not messing with the paint on this. It's good enough to get by. It just needs a little correction. Sweet! In addition to the 75 cents, look what I found under the seat. Once I replace the door panel, I can now roll up and down the window without using the vice grips. I also found a bunch of these. So this lets you know that there's some serious electrical issues with this truck. Anytime you see this, you guys know you're in for some fun. This is completely melted. So that's probably why everything in here is disconnected. So, not a huge deal. We'll get to that, tackle it one piece at a time. Then we got to get rid of all the rattles and whatnot that are shaking, so I can tell what, if anything, is coming from the drivetrain. I know there's a bald spot on the passenger front tire, so that's going to cause a little bit of shaking. Changing that out is going to help a little bit. And then the headliner and the miscellaneous stuff behind the seat, all that was vibrating as well. So little by little, I'll tackle the noises, the electricity. Well, I'm going to tackle the electronics first, and then I'll get to the noises, and we'll just keep moving forward a little bit at a time. In addition, the next video is going to be on the truck. I'm going to be reassembling the truck. The, what is it, green, then purple, then now black C1500. I'm going to be reassembling the front end on that, getting it back together, and starting to work on the air suspension after I clean up the back end of that frame like we talked about in the last video. So just going to keep moving along little by little, and as I see a good deal, I'm going to grab it, and let's get back to work. All right, so I did hook this up. The hood was open prior to me purchasing this thing, and I was able to test it, but the hood got broken prior to me driving it home, so I was not able to use this. So we're going to connect this up, and I'm going to show you guys the codes on the Torx app, so you know what we're working with as far as the engine goes. There we go. Get this to sync up with my phone. Alright, check the vacuum on here. Hopefully you guys can see that. This is that idle. Just give it a little rev. One more time. Alright, let's pull the codes on this thing. Oh, look at that. Lights up like a Christmas tree. You guys see those? We got some powertrain stuff. Oh, these are evap stuff. Knock sensor, exhaust gas. More evap stuff. That's everything. So all of this stuff is supposed to be tuned out. Not sure why this is showing up. We're gonna have to look into that. According to the guy who did the swap, when he sent this out, everything was to be tuned out. When he sent the ECU out, everything was to be tuned out. So I believe this stuff shouldn't show up because it's supposed to be off. But we're gonna look into that. Once again, like I said, I have to figure out how this tuning stuff works, and we'll deal with all this stuff. I'll look each one of them up. All right, so after going over all of those and hitting web look up on each one, guess what? There's one common denominator between every single error, the wiring. All of them state that the wiring could be an issue, which is not really a surprise. I'm going to do a bunch of troubleshooting, as I said, on all of the wires, looking at the grounds, the ends, etc. See if I can fix what I already have here. If not, then I'm going to get a standalone wiring harness and call that a day. Just reconnect the new harness and deal with the ECU programming, because that alone is going to be a learning curve. I've never done it before. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. You guys know what to do. Like it if you like, don't if you don't. Hit that subscribe button to keep up